YouTube, it's Catherine here, and this video is going to be, sorry cats, about kind of what brought me to medical medium. So, going through this journey, it has, really made me reflect. And, as soon as you come down with any kind of abnormal thing, you're going to reflect because you're going to try to figure out why. I don't necessarily know my why, but I was just going to kind of tell you what I've tried thus far and kind of where I'm at now. I'm also going to try to include my weight in every video, just because it wasn't a part of my journey, and it still kind of is. I still have weight to lose. I still have 70 pounds to lose roughly, and though I'm really putting that on hold, going through this protocol, I'm going to try to include it just so that I kind of have like a timeline. So today I was 196.1, so that's like a 3.9 pound loss since I last did a video. So that was pretty much overnight. I've been stuck at 199 for a long time, like a couple of months now. So yay, it's kind of exciting to see on the scale. But like I said, it's not the be all and end all if I stayed at 199, whatever. That's not my goal right now. So I just have some stuff written down here just so that I remember different things. So as I mentioned in another video, my journey really started with separation anxiety from my mom. And I know that this isn't an uncommon thing. I think a lot of kids go through it, but for me it was a very severe thing, and it lasted right up until adulthood. So to me, that is something that is not normal, and that is not something that I can really control either. So that's kind of where it started. Now, going through, my life, I had general anxiety, but nothing major. Like most of it was like situational, like, you have a test, or you're going to go for an exam, or there's something new happening and you might be anxious, or you're going to go on a date, something like that. And those things cause anxiety, and that's normal anxiety. And those aren't things, it's fine to have that anxiety. You're supposed to have that anxiety. It goes away and you don't even think about it ever again. So I would say that I probably had a little bit more than that, but not really. Most of mine was surrounded around separation anxiety. And really throughout my life, I've never had any major illnesses. My brother and my mom had mono. So the chances of me having that in my system is pretty high. So that is something that I'm keeping on my radar going through the medical medium protocols. But I've never, like, other than, regular colds, flus, that kind of stuff, I've never really had anything major or any surgeries or anything like that. And then when 6 years ago, right before my agoraphobia started, I moved to Alberta, Canada. So I used to live in Ontario, Canada, and now I live in Alberta, Canada. And I really think that that could have been the traumatic event. I think it was kind of it was a big deal. Moving is always a big deal, but it was a big deal. And I was moving away from my family and all of that stuff. And I think that and then my spouse had to go to work for 3 months and not be at home. And I think that those maybe brought back separation anxiety feelings and collaborated together into a little perfect storm, and bada bing, bada boom, I have agoraphobia. So to me, those are the only things that I can associate with it. And that's fine. We're going to carry on and we're going to try to figure it out. I think that there is other things. I think that, maybe heavy metals in my body, which I for sure have, definitely copper, which I know isn't uncommon, but the copper, I got my hair tested, which I mentioned in another video, and that did mention that I do have like really high copper. So you take zinc, which should dump the copper out of the system. So, but in saying that, Medical Medium has a heavy metal detox smoothie, which I'm going to be starting that next week. And I'll try to bring you guys along for that. How I make it, how I feel when I do it, and all of that jazz. So after that, I really went through a period of time when I wasn't really delving into cures. I didn't know what this was. It was just like an intense fear. So I didn't know to try to fix myself or try to look for answers. I really didn't. It was 5 years. 5 years went by before I even looked for a solution, even started looking for a solution. So, I don't even know, but that's what I'm doing now. So about a year ago, well, probably a year and a half, November of last year, I started kind of looking into different avenues of like, what the heck's going on with me? Why is this not going away? And obviously I went online and searched my little heart out, which I still do today, but I found DARE, DARE. It is a self-help book, and it is for anxiety sufferers. And I did the boot camp. I really delved into it. I really wanted it to work. And when I really think about it, it's a mind over matter kind of protocol. Do I think that it works for a lot of people? I do. And I think that it is definitely a mind over matter thing. It's not getting rid of your anxiety. It's not fixing the root cause. It is literally learning how to live with your anxiety and learning that it's okay to have anxiety. And it does. I still use a lot of the tools that I learned in the DARE book, and I do think that it has a lot of validity. But it's not my answer. It's not the answer. It's not. And some would say it's because I'm not giving into the process enough. I'm not letting go enough. I'm not letting it work. But I don't think that that's the case. I think that there's more going on. Maybe that's wishful thinking. I don't know. We'll see. So then last February, I was hospitalized. I went into the hospital for 1 week into a psych ward to try to figure out my anxiety. And I guess I should reiterate, I did forget something. I had been on an SSRI for 15 years, starting roughly 15 years, 16 years ago, because I've been off of it for a year now. But so I had been on an SSRI, and I had been on a Ativan, a benzo. Not all the time, but I had it and I could use it. So when I went into the hospital, I was hopeful. I was really looking for that answer, and the answer did not come. They didn't do anything. They didn't help me. They literally gave me a different prescription for a different pill and shoved more benzos at me. And at first I was like, okay, this is my fate. This is what I'm going to do. And it only about a month went by. I was having reactions to the drug. It was making me feel terrible, and I was like, no, this isn't the answer. I'm not doing this again or still or whatever. So I went off of all medications and I decided to take this to a holistic approach. So since then, I try exposure therapy, which I still do a little bit. And I keep researching, I keep looking, and, you know, I keep looking. That's my only answer. And so then I tried, and through this, I have tried other things. I've tried meditation, and I'm not saying that I just tried this for a week and was like, this didn't work. I think all of these things combined help, and I do try to practice them even today. I try to incorporate them into my daily life because I think that as they're not the answer, I think they're all part of the puzzle, and I think that they're not negative things. So I still practice yoga. I've been doing yoga now for like 41 days straight. I did it, then I stopped, and then I did it, and then I stopped. So right now I'm on 41-day streak of doing yoga. And I tried CBD oil. I got a prescription. I took it every day, and unfortunately, nothing. It didn't do a thing. So the doctor said there's 1 in 20 people it doesn't work for. Am I just one of those people? I don't know. I could go down the rabbit hole of trying different brands with different carrier oils, but unfortunately, it's expensive. And I don't know. I still feel like that's kind of a cover up. It's not fixing the root cause. I think it's just covering something up. Now, I know that we have cannabinoid receptors in our body that, that turns on and all of that. I don't know. I did give it 2 months and nothing. And I was up to two milliliters twice a day. So that's 2 full syringes of CBD oil. So it wasn't just drops. I was taking quite a fair amount. And nothing. And I did work up to that gradually and slowly. I've tried vitamin therapy. Now this I didn't give long enough. I started doing it and I was like, this doesn't feel like the answer. It doesn't feel like the answer to be taking handfuls of vitamins every day. Now, do I think that it could work? I do. I do think that there's something there. But there's just different schools of thought, and finding somebody to try to help you or doing this on your own is it's crazy land. So I found the medical medium kind of right at the tail end of that. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to do the medical medium. I really like this. It's food-based, which I really like. So I'm jumping in with both feet. I'm not really sure exactly what protocols I'm going to follow yet or what supplements I'm going to take because I'm not 100% sure. I don't have enough symptoms of anything to put me into specific categories, of EBV or strep or mono, or I think some of those are crisscrossed, but whatever they are. So I'm still going to do the research on this, and because I'm doing it slow enough, I think that it's okay. So right now, I've just changed my diet. I've taken out all of the no foods, which I'll try to list here, and I will start the heavy metal detox smoothie next week, and I'll do that for a couple of weeks, as well as the celery juice, which I already do, and I will just continue on that way. So that's just kind of how I got here. I'm sure I've tried other things in the middle there. I've tried a lot of YouTube, like Anxiety United, and there's another one, The Anxiety Guy, some of those things, and I don't know. It works for some people, everything works for some people. So I'm just going to carry on, and I'll try to share my journey. If something changes or I don't like something or something moves on or I get some sort of reaction, I'll try to share it here. And I hope everybody's having a wonderful day. Thanks.